Today I'm joined by Reinder Nummerdor. Reinder has been nominated by Viktor Antilov in a previous video. Reinder is 5 times Olympian. Don't even know how you say that. Triple, quadruple, 5 times Olympian. So participated 2000 and 2004 Indoor Volleyball.
Yes.
2008, 12 and 16 Beach Volleyball. Long list of achievements. 5th at the Olympics in Sydney Indoor Volleyball. 5th Beijing Beach Volleyball. 4th in London. 5th in Rio. Best defender 2009 and 2011 by the Beach Volleyball Federation. Most inspirational player 2016. Runner-up at the World Champs 2015. European champion indoor 1997. And triple European champion 2008 to 2010.
Perfect.
In the beach. And now assistant national coach for the Dutch national team beach volleyball.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome, Reinder.
Thank you.
Reinder, in your life as an athlete, what was your darkest moment?
Because I had a long career, it were a few, but I think one of the most that hurts the most was the loss in the Beijing quarterfinal.
Okay.
Because I think we were at that time there was maybe our best chance to finish really high in the Olympics, because we were at the top in the world at that moment, and we got to play in a team that we should have beaten, like on paper, and that maybe got a little bit in at least my head, so that gave extra pressure, and therefore I didn't play my. I think that was a mental issue at that time, that I couldn't perform like that I didn't perform like I could have. That's what I feel. It was not bad, but it was not good enough, and it was a team that we had a lot of trouble with always in the competition, always close games where we always won, and then we got this. They beat a strong team which we didn't expect, and then in the quarterfinals, a big opportunity, of course, to go for the medals, and that just probably gave me some anxiety that I didn't want. So that was and because it was partly mental, it hurts even more. I don't know why that is, but I felt like that.
And how did you recover from that?
Well, after the Olympics, that's the good part of the Olympics. That's the end goal of 4 years, and then you get a lot of time to mentally recover, because there is a big break, or you take a big break because there is no. So that helps a lot with the mental part to get over it, and then after a month or so you have off.
Yeah.
You don't have to play and no practice, so that gives you time to recover, and with new goals you start to make new goals, and then you work towards a new goal, and then my head was clear after a while, and I learned from it that I should have talked about it earlier, maybe with or a coach or a doctor or whatever, just because I know that sometimes this helps me, but just to talk about what's in my head, just to talk to someone, it clears my head and I feel better.
Yeah, that's
already enough most of the time. And before that game, I remember I felt like, there's too much thoughts in my head that I don't want. I should talk to just before the game with the physio or with the doctor, a confident person that you feel confident with. And I didn't do it, and that was what I learned. That if that ever happens again, it won't happen. I mean, I would open up and tell someone, and then maybe at least it helps me there.
And you thought you were mentally stronger after that experience in the following years?
When I got older and wiser and older, it got better. because I just had more experience, I knew better what to focus on, to get more controls of my thoughts, and also this instrument, just to be open with someone about your thoughts. That made me also stronger, because that was what I learned from that experience. It was just too late.
Yeah.
But I got my chances again in London. And
there was also a close match.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first time we got to the semis, and we didn't have a chance in the semis. I didn't play my best game, but it was just more technical and more. They were just playing better, and bronze was really close.
Yeah. 2 close sets, I think.
We won the first set, and then.
Oh, you won?
Yeah, we won the first. And the second, we were also close, 2 points from bronze medal. We lost second, and the third was pretty obvious.
Okay.
So yeah, that's if you talk about in general, one of the things that I didn't win. It was a medal at the Olympics. That was of course one of my main goals also.
Yeah.
So that's the big disappointment afterwards. But
yeah.
I feel like in the end I did everything I could to achieve that, especially the last years with Chris and with the new coach and with the new team around the team. I think I was more dedicated than ever, so that gave me a good feeling afterwards. But we will come to that later, I think, with a question.
I guess so. So what was your best moment?
Also a few, but I think what has the most impact on myself and maybe for beach volleyball in Holland was that Richard and me we were the first men's team in Holland to win a World Tour event. Maybe a little bit strange, because it's not the highest that I got. I think second place in the World Champs is a better achievement, and a European champion maybe is a better achievement. But it never happened before in Holland that the team, from a men's team at least, won a gold medal. It was the best achievement ever in history. So, and the fact that we did it was crazy. We beat the Brazilians. It was also how do you say it? Confirmation that we were on the right track and that we could beat everyone at that time. And. So and the impact that it had, like the text messages, it was crazy in Holland, like for us in our sport. So
when was that?
2007.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
quite early.
In Bahrain.
Yeah.
So I will also never forget that moment. I mean, it was special. It was a Eurosport. Our wives were with us. It was all, like. We came from the year before that we just started, and we got a fifth. In the end, we got a 5th place as a maximum result, and then we won a tournament like out of the blue. It was the first tournament of the new season that we played. So it's the best feeling.
And after that, you were confident.
We started to win more medals. We got a silver medal in Grand Slam, and so it just. We were. It was not a one day or one lucky shot. It was. We were on the right track, and we started to win more and more. In 2008, we got the first European Championship, the title.
What advice would you give your younger you if you could travel back in time?
Yeah, so that is what I was trying to refer to in the beginning. When I was young, we didn't have the knowledge about food, for example, like we have now, or. But also like other things like going out, or now we are talking with the guys with the sleeping coach. There's so much more knowledge also, and I'm really happy that in the last 2 years I got to experience this a little bit with the new coaching staff, and we were way more focused. I was paying more attention to my food, to my lifestyle. We were working with jump meters. It was much more professional. But also on the. So you have to also be lucky with the coach. And I think the coach I had in the last 2 years, Gijs Ronnes, was really good for me in the way that also on the mental part, like the simple things like. Now we were talking about how to deal with your partner when you're completely different persons, talking a language. We're working with a mental coach as well to get it our communication on a higher level, because we were so different. All small stuff, but it was in detail, and we worked more in detail than ever. And one of the advantages is for me was that I was more relaxed before the Olympics, so that was the end goal in Rio, because I really thought like this time I couldn't blame myself for anything, like no excuses ever, because I did everything I could in my opinion in this time. But that was the first time I really felt that, like I really did everything I could. Yeah. And that's also drinking a beer. I just did less, or almost never anymore, or going late to bed or whatever. It was, and that gave me so that's what if I had known that before, that it would give me this confidence, like mentally, like you did everything you could, so now just let's play. Yeah. In Rio, let's play, and we will see what happens, and then you are happy with the end result, because whatever happens, you did everything. Yeah. Okay. That's the main. It's a long story, but
no, that's fine. And you said you and your partner, I think you're referring to Chris,
Chris,
right?
Yeah,
so you were different.
Yeah.
And you and Richard were more similar?
Maybe not in communication style, but if you look at how we were playing our matches and tournaments, we were just playing on talent and feeling good, maybe, feeling good, like we had a lot of fun together. Now we went out sometimes, or it was more, and we performed well. Yeah. But now I feel like, what if I had known this, or setting more specific training goals, setting talk after every match, evaluate the match every time. That's what we did the last years. Like every match, after the match, talk about what went well, how did the goals that we set before the match, how did we execute them, or did we do the right things, or was the execution not good, or was the communication not good? So it was much more professional.
Interesting.
And Richard and me, we came from indoor, and to be honest, in Italy, when we played for a contract in indoors, it's just like you're the foreign player. You just play well, and you get a contract next year. Yeah. And the level of the coaches sometimes was really not so good. So you just were on your own, and you just play, and that was how we continued to play. I think on the beach, when Richard and me started on the beach, play, and and we came a long way. Yeah. Because we were talented, I think, and we had experience. We knew how to play on the big moments and the big points. Normally, we were strong in that, because we took that from our indoor experience, from playing under pressure in Italy. So we had the advantages there. But afterwards, I would say, what was even more possible.
Yeah. How did you decide to switch from indoor volleyball to beach volleyball?
That was pure following my heart. Okay. Yeah, I was playing in Italy for 8 years in a row, and then in combination with the national team in the summer. So I think it was really tough 10 years of my career, like really playing to the bone. Like national team was a tough program with a lot of traveling, World League games. In the end, we played the World Champs or a European Championship or Olympics in the end of the summer season. And then 1 week later, you had to be at your club. There was no time for rest. And 1 week later, you played the first league. That's indoor. And I was, and I felt like I was almost at the top of my game indoor at that time. At 28, I was playing in the top of the league. It was the strongest league in the world, Italy, but I was not in the top 4 team normally. Yeah. 1 year I got in one really good team, and we finished. We went out semi-finals, but I never got the last step to the maximum. Let's say I couldn't play for the title. Or, and I was tired of the life alone abroad every year, and the pressure and all together like. And when I started to think about beach volleyball, I was smiling. I was like, wow, it's going to be a new ambition, a new challenge, I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
And money-wise, it was the most stupid decision to make. Yeah. If you talk about contracts or salary, or it was, we started from scratch. We had nothing, and we had the money from Indoor, but we didn't make prize money. We didn't have sponsors. We just let's do it. And I'm proud of that choice actually, because I just did what I liked, and that showed also maybe because in the results that we did so well, because we had fun and and in the end I'm really happy also, because I think it gave my career really an extra level, an extra boost, and so hard. Yeah, it was really a choice of just listening to my feeling.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have a bonus question. Your wife was also a successful volleyball player, and you have a daughter.
Yeah.
If your daughter wants to become a professional volleyball player, how do you react?
Oh, I'm happy.
Yeah.
If she wants to become one, I support her fully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What are the habits that make you a successful athlete or person?
My perseverance. So I always go. I never give up. And I'm really maybe too much. It works also against me, I think, in my personal life sometimes. But I'm really like a lot of athletes, I think, a perfectionist. So I'm never happy. It always has to be better. But it keeps me pushing every practice, and that's I think the main reason why I had a long career. Of course, you have to be a bit lucky with your physical injuries and stuff. But also the love of the game, but also the urge to improve always. And maybe if I had won a gold medal in Athens or Sydney, I wouldn't have been playing so long. I don't know. It's possible that kept me pushing the Olympic medal. It's possible. But always want to improve.
Is that something you're using now in your coaching career as well?
But it's difficult to learn that to someone, you can be critical about yourself, but we also try to be positive in coaching. So it can. The danger is that you get too negative, I think, because this must be better. This you can do better. This you can do better. It keeps the player maybe sharp, but sometimes it's also really nice to have some positive feedback. I think to keep fun in the game. If you're too negative as a coach, it's not good, I think.
That's interesting.
In one way it's good because you want the players to improve always.
Yeah.
I had a coach in Italy. It was fun. I really liked him, and he was also from the national team. One of the best coaches I had in Italy. And I remember there was in this top team in Milan. We had a really good team, and every time we had won a match, like we played well. We crushed the opponent. We had video on Monday, so one day off, and on Monday we talked about he was only talking about the things that didn't go well. I mean, it was in the end you knew, okay, if we won and we played almost perfect, the one thing that was not perfect, he was like, guys, we have to do this better, look at the video. And always negative. And when we played terrible, he was like saying some things that it was not that bad. I mean, some things were pretty good, just to keep us motivated for practice, But it's a little bit like that, I think.
Who was the coach?
Montali.
Okay.
Yeah, Gianpaolo Montali. Many years. I think he was after that he went to soccer. And Juventus, technical director by Juventus. But he was really successful as a volleyball coach also.
Okay.
Not only about this, but this was a fun part for me. If you do that every time, it's pretty obvious, of course, in the end.
Do you have a morning routine?
No, So that's a question we could skip. It's not really a morning routine. No.
Any routine you're following?
No, and then you can say, bijgeloof. Yeah. Sometimes I did it when, in a tournament you were winning a match and then you were like, okay, let's sit on the same seat at the next match or whatever. But there was never something for a long period. So it was sometimes during a tournament I did something, but I was pretty. I'm not so superstitious. No. So I didn't have a really. The routine was, I think, automatically. Just the tension builds up. I'm visualizing a lot, actions, and the opponent.
Yeah.
So we do video. I'm really fond of watching video analysis of the opponent. It helps me a lot. So I'm very.
Visual learner.
Visual learner. Yeah. So also in my head I go with the players. I see it happening, and then builds up the tension for the match. That's a normal routine that comes automatically. Okay. But nothing special.
No.
Of course, I don't eat half an hour before a game. But
So that feeds in very well with the next question. How do you prepare for important moments?
If it's a really big tournament, sometimes I start really early. I couldn't help it. Like for example, 3 months before the Olympics, I start already about seeing in moments, for showering and images come up and seeing myself winning or seeing myself so then it starts really early already for the big tournament in a year or the end goal. But for a normal tournament, like a world tour event or whatever, it's just 1 hour before the match or 2 hours before the match I start the routine.
And before you step on court, for example, what did you do?
We have the routine. The pre-game routine is always the same. So, 1 hour before the game, we come together for video. I watch video first, and my partner. Then we come together, make a plan. I don't know exact the times anymore, but then 35 minutes before the game, we start our warm-up routine. So that's scheduled, and that's what works for me. One person needs 45 minutes, another one needs 30 minutes. That's all individual.
Yeah.
And just before the game, I just try to let loose, and because I don't want to think too much in the game. Of course, I analyze the opponents a lot, but not too much thinking about my own game. Yeah. The things that it's more thinking about the tactical plan. That helps me a lot.
And when you say let loose, what do you do?
It happens most of the time automatically when the tension gets high. Just before the game, the nerves go high. But it gives me always a sense of relaxation. Okay, now we just play. And let's. Especially when I got older, I got more relaxed when the game started. And then, because of the tension, all thoughts go away. Just play. And that's the perfect mindset, I think, because then you just focus on what's happening. The ball is coming and just play. What you did over and over again in practice.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've noted down here. Did the preparation change over the years? So I think the first Olympics you were 23, 24, and the last you were 39, 40, right?
Yeah.
So did the preparation change?
No, but I remember I was, especially in beach volleyball, when the years passed by and I got older, I remember I was more relaxed. When the game started. It took, and sometimes even maybe it got in my way, that it was not enough anymore. My coach also said, I could only get really motivated for the big ones, in the end, and that was true, I think. we played the World Championships in Holland when we got the silver medal, but it was shitty because it was in the middle of the season. So 1 week later, it was one of the biggest. It was one of the most beautiful tournaments I ever played because I got a silver medal. But the disappointment was huge because we got 5 match points for the world title. We didn't make them, and then after that we had just a world tour the week after that in Gstaad, and then we had the European Championships 3 weeks later. And I was like, the coach couldn't get me motivated anymore because I was so done for the season because that was our main goal, the World Champs.
Yeah.
I thought put it in the end of the season, your main goal. Olympics is in the end of the season most of the time.
Yeah.
And it was, for me, really hard to motivate myself after that. That was something I couldn't manage. I talked about it with the coach. How can we find new goals? It was hard. But that was also because of my age and because I had nothing more to win except for that.
Yeah.
That was how I felt about it. And I really needed a big break. Actually, after the World Champs for my mind, but there was no time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the preparation, does the preparation change for indoor volleyball and beach volleyball? I mean, obviously you are more players indoor volleyball, in beach volleyball you're just 2. Does the preparation change, the mental preparation for a match?
No, I think, for example, indoor it's more guided by the coach, and you have a whole team, and you're just one player of the 6, so you have to fit into the tactical plan. You have no really own input. In beach volleyball, I'm the master of the tactical. You decide yourself with the coach, but he gives feedback. He gives the numbers, the statistics, and most of the time we let the players decide how do you want to play this team. And sometimes if they really don't agree, if the coaches don't agree, they steer a little bit. They give some directions. Maybe is it not better that?
Yeah.
Most of the time we made our own plan, so you were responsible. Yeah, it felt good. That was different, and it's a long time ago indoor. And we did video during the week already. When you had an opponent, you played 1 match a week in the league. So we had video on Thursday and on Friday, and now you have sometimes. That's a big difference. Also, you have to mentally, because you play a game. You talk after the game. You evaluate. You have to focus 2 hours later for the next game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's mentally different.
Yeah.
It asks different qualities. Because you have to prepare again, new tactic plan, and forget about the lost match or the match that you won really well.
Yeah.
Because it's also dangerous that you go into relax mode and you have to play another one and win it. So, and there is no coaching. That's a big difference. So if you are, I thought mentally it was beach volleyball was way harder than indoor, because if you really suck in indoor, they just put another player in.
Yeah.
And beach, if they pick you and you have a bad day, figure it out, with your partner.
Yeah.
Find a way, find solutions. So I was really getting better in finding solutions after a few years, like different options. And okay, this is not working. Let's try that. Or it makes you really inventive. Inventive.
Yeah, inventive.
Yeah.
How do you overcome setbacks?
So as I said, I overcome them, but I need some time. It's not very easy for me. If it's a really hard setback, it takes a long time. But sometimes you lose a game and you have a rematch 2 hours later, like I said, then I can easily. Most of the time it's just evaluate what went wrong, make a new training goal, and then you get motivated to get better. That's actually the normal routine, and that makes you motivated. You have to You have to set a new goal for yourself after a setback, or where do you want to improve? Small goals, but work specific on those. That was really nice, I think.
Okay.
And see what went wrong. Maybe video analyze afterwards also what went wrong. It's important to find out and not just push it aside and just because then what are you training for? So I think that helped me a lot. And in Italy, many times I had to do it myself because there was just not attention for you. Here in beach volleyball, you have much more attention, personal attention, because only 2 players and indoors in Italy it was really like you have your contract, you make a lot of money, you make sure you perform, and how you do it, it's your. It really felt like that in Italy for contract players. Yeah. And then I had to figure out myself. Okay, if I played a really bad match on Sunday, how do and I was just okay. I think I was not. I really learned, and I think that helped me a lot in beach volleyball. I really learned to reflect on myself. I was pretty good in analyzing myself after a while. Watching video, I look really slow. Okay, then I did, for example, extra sprint work or short actions, explosive and more explosion in the, just to improve that immediately by myself, because there was not a coach who said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know if it's an answer to the question.
No, I guess it is.
It's about setbacks.
Yeah. But then you said, for example, in Italy, the coach, or you had to figure out everything yourself, right? So what's the role of the coach in such a team then?
Yeah, making exercises for the practices and analyze the opponent and make a video analyze and then, but not really. I felt like in Holland it was the youth, and you got to a certain age, 20, 21, 22, and you learned a lot in the youth and the Young Oranje national team, really good coaches in the national team also. And they made you, I improved a lot with them, but when you go abroad, I felt like, okay, this is it. They just don't put any effort anymore in details, or you have to prove on this or this. It's really like performing well. The trainer, okay, the physical part, they try to prepare you for the Sunday match. It was always you played on Sunday, so Monday was heavyweights. Okay, that was already. But sometimes I was really dead on Saturday, Friday, because we practiced so hard, and I had to do it myself. Somehow, or maybe talk with the coach, or but there was no really personal attention. Like you're already a star. You come to Italy as a foreign player. There are only 3 or 4 foreign players per team. You are the big guy. You get paid more than the Italians, and you have to be the star. You have to perform every week. But they don't. Many coaches, most of them, they were not at that level.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have a role model?
Yeah, I thought about that. I admired athletes when I was younger. I had a poster of Carl Lewis and stuff like that, and Agassi, tennis, or later on Federer, but when I was older. But a role model, a role model, I would say maybe my father as a role model, because he was really into sports, and he as a kid he was a sports instructor. How do you say it on school? Sports
PE
teacher.
PE teacher.
Yeah, he was a volleyball player as well, and he did the basics from soccer, table tennis. I did many different sports with my father when I was young. And also, when we were on a holiday, he took from school the softball or the baseball, the hand shoes, to just throw and catch when I was really young, stuff like that. So I did a lot of sports when I was young.
That's an interesting one, because I remember when we worked together at the Beach Team Holland, your coach at that time said that you were one of the best technical beach volleyball players. There is a theory in the sports science world,
skills
so
model.
if you're similar to that. So, but you know, the more sports you do, it has an influence on your technical development later. Is that something you think you had?
I'm reading actually at the moment about this athletic skills model. I have this book, and there was a big survey on the Olympians, I heard, and that most of them did different kind of sports when they were younger. So afterwards, I believe so. But I was young when I started to play volleyball. I was 7, but I didn't make many hours. But I played tennis at the same time, and I played soccer at the same time. Soccer I did only for 2 years, but tennis I played till my 15th. Pretty intense also. So I think my volleyball career really got intense, like 3-4 times a week practice when I was 14 or 15. So pretty late when I made more hours, and so now I believe, it has helped me maybe with my reading. I think I was good at good eye, like seeing things. Maybe it's because of that. Different sports, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. I was pretty good in a lot of ball sports when I was young, above average. I would say tennis. I was. They said if I would have practiced a lot, I could have become a really good tennis player. I was invited for selections, but I didn't do it. I was more in the team sport, so I stuck with volleyball. But maybe a good. My father was my coach in the beginning. Maybe I think it's also important that if you want to be a technical good player at a young age, you need the right teacher. Because if you learn it in the wrong way when you're young, because someone doesn't have the knowledge, then it's difficult to change, I think. So you have to be a little bit lucky with that also.
What's the best advice you received, and who gave it to you?
No, I was actually. I couldn't think of anything. I think it was myself, like my heart, like. That's what I would say to also younger athletes, like please follow, because I think if you do something that you want, you are more motivated, you get better results than if someone pushes you to do something that you don't want, or in your core you're not happy doing. So the change, so the advice changing from it was all me. There was no one who said you should go. Of course, sometimes they ask like, "Hey, is it something for you, beach volleyball?" You start thinking, but that's the only answer I can give. Actually, I don't have one advice from one person that was a light bulb or changed my life. No. If I think about it and something pops up, so I will let you know. But
let me know.
I thought about it already, and maybe something pops up.
It's interesting because I also did an interview with Celeste Black. And she also said, "Follow your heart." So another volleyball player. Interesting. Do you want to nominate someone to be interviewed?
Maybe Robin Haase, a tennis player from Holland. I know him. I met him at the Olympics, and still in his prime, still playing top 50 in the world, I think. So I don't know if it's a possibility, but it's a different sport, and
I used to work with a tennis player some few years ago, and he played Robin Haase twice in the Bundesliga in Germany. And he said, "I can't beat Robin Haase." So I saw him twice at a Bundesliga match, Robin Haase. So interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the best. At the moment, the best player we have on the men's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kiki Bertens is doing really well with the women.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know her.
Where can people find you?
On the beach court.
Zouderpark?
Zuiderpark. And at my home in Zwolle. No, I mean, I have a Facebook account but Twitter, but I'm really not social media. I have an Instagram account, but no pictures, no. I just have an account so I can follow others, you know, a little bit. So I'm really not active with social media. Too bad.
We're a different generation.
Yeah, I don't care. Even when I was a player, actually. Even when I was a player, I was like, I'm too old. Yeah, like even Christian was also not really. But yeah, for sponsors, it's really interesting, of course. Yeah. But now that I'm a coach, I don't know why.
Yeah. Cool.
Private is private.
Yeah.
Sometimes post a picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.